Good morning and welcome. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's the 16th day of February 2023. It is 54 degrees and cold here at Site B. And you might be wondering what's going on. Well, apparently I've used up my allotted SteamYard time, so I can't do any live streams till tomorrow. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. Who knew? But then, I'm relatively new to SteamYard. So we're using the old OBS instead, because you guys like to look at pictures or whatever. I don't know. I could have just used the camera. But, yeah. So what's going on? What is this thing that you see in front of you? Blueprint 2.0, digital games. Toys, games, licensing, entertainment, specialty, mass discount, e-commerce, Hasbro Plus. Wait, is today? Oh, wait, is today the 16th of the month? Oh, have the Q4 results dropped for Hasbro and Dungeons and Dragons sales? Is this the day so many of us have been waiting for since January? Should this be good news for all the 5e Wizards of the Coast simps out there who are holding on hope? Or is this bad news for all the 5e simps and the Wizards of the Coast goons who are holding on hope? Will the Scott Garabys of the world be excited, or will they be disappointed? Is there a future for D&D, or is it doomed to fail? Did OGL accomplish anything or nothing? This is the numbers we have been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. This is the information. This is the facts. These are the things that I look for that are not biased by anything. So you can't accuse me of biasism or hate or lying or clickbaiting. It's there, black and white. This comes from the horse's mouth. Stand by. Here are the Q4 earnings calls. And you will notice right away in the list of things Hasbro plans to be focusing on between today and, what date was it? 2027. What is not on this list? Let's go over it again. Hasbro Pulse. So they're expecting Hasbro Pulse to be something that they're investing money in. Hasbro Pulse is their convention. E-commerce, selling stuff online. Mass and discount commerce, selling stuff to third-party stores for the small percentages. So that's selling last year's toys to, 99-cent store. Specialty and LBE. So this is the high-range stuff, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, the $100 things. Entertainment. Oh, that would probably be the movie, the projected TV show, whose now, once again, fate is in limbo because Paramount Plus no longer exists. And other things that are entertainment-based as they sell off their previous existing entertainment and try and find a new one. Licensing. Licensing IPs like Power Rangers, Peppa Pig, Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons, everything that they can make money off of that costs them very little. Remember, merchandising, where the real money is. Toys and games. So they still think that the toys is a thing for them, and games are a thing for them, even though they just sold off their board game department. So what does that leave for them for games? I mean, the only other games they have are, Magic and D&D and some other stuff. Well, digital games and service. What's right at the top? Digital games and service. That means that they are focusing most of their energy on these two. And then these two are the second most. These two are the third most. So these are the biggies. They're focusing most of their energy from now through 2027 on digital games and service. You know what's nowhere on this list? Nowhere on this list. I'll give you a hint. Starts with the letter W. Dungeons and Dragons and Magic. Nowhere on this list. Dungeons and Dragons and Magic have been lumped in with toys and games. Oh, no. Not with entertainment. Not with specialty. Not with e-commerce. Toys and games. That is not a good sign. But don't take my word for it. You can go to the link down below and read the quarterly earnings, and they are not good. So compared to this time last year, they had demanded Wizards of the Coast make them $1 billion. How much money did Wizards of the Coast make you this year? Well, in total, Hasbro had a $1.68 billion year, which is down almost 20% from where they were last year, which is understandable because last year people were at home spending money on ridiculous things because we were bored. And this year we've gotten to go outside, so we're not spending as much as we were. The holiday seasons were really crappy for Hasbro and other companies compared to this, when we were still in the pandemic. So 1.6 billion down 17%. It's a little more than they counted for, but not unexpected. Everybody, we knew they were going to make less than this amount last year. Almost 20% less? Yeah, no, they were counting on a lot less. A lot less. Wizards of the Coast was supposed to make them $1 billion alone this year, plus everything else. Power Rangers, Peppa Pig, Transformers, My Little Pony, video games, board games, whatever, Monopoly, all the other things that Hasbro owns. So this $1.68 billion is everything that Hasbro has a finger in all over the world, and Wizards, Magic the Gathering, and Dungeons & Dragons, which were supposed to, projected to make $1 billion on their own throughout the quarter. So today, the Q4 snapshot should show at least $2 billion. But it doesn't. And why is that? Because Wizards of the Coast sales are down 28% from this time last year. D&D sales alone down 14% as of last year. Loss of profit, $269.2 million. Gained profit, $181.9 million. Earnings loss per share, but that's for you, for shareholders like myself. How much is our stock worth right now? It is worth $1.31 than it was this time last year. So shares are down $2 pretty much from in the year. The full revenue between this time last year and now is almost $1 billion. Now, there's a lot of numbers in here that mean, operating profit and margins and numbers and things that I don't understand and I don't expect you to understand. But bottom line, things do not look good for Hasbro. So going forward, they have come up with a new blueprint. Their previous blueprint, 2020 to 2023, what they were investing in, what they expected to make, as opposed to what they actually made it. Now, 2023 to 2027, they have a new blueprint. This is what they're focusing on. This is what they expect. So right now, Wizards of the Coast has this: you need to make $1 billion or more by this time next year. And that's not movie money, because movie money is over here in entertainment. That's not video game money. No, because the video game money is here in digital services. So that leaves you to make $1 billion off of Magic and physical D&D alone between now and February 16th of 2024. Right around the time Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition should be out. So that means they are competing with the entire toys and games department, even though Hasbro sold off their board games to another company because they didn't trust Wizards of the Coast to handle it anymore. So I guess that's just games that aren't board games, but that's not digital games. So, the only game that would be left that isn't a board game is the card games and I guess whatever other games they have that don't qualify as a board game. So Dominoes, Uno, I don't know. Monopoly is being made by somebody else now. So there's only so much money in the blueprint that Hasbro is going to regulate over to Wizards of the Coast for them to invest in 2023. But now they are competing with toys. So once again, Hasbro has been restructured. If you remember previously, Wizards of the Coast was in the same thing as digital. They were all under one thing, and they were all being run by the same department, and they were all working together. But then Hasbro moved Wizards of the Coast into a new building. Remember that? The building that's across the street from their other offices. Well, it's actually across the other side of a river, but whatever. From where they used to be. And the first floor of that building is all Wizards of the Coast, and the second floor of that building is all digital games and services. Everything else is at another building. Now, this time last year, Wizards of the Coast was here under digital games and services. So this was all one thing. But now, Wizards of the Coast has been moved from digital games and services to sharing that to toys and games. So Wizards of the Coast now has to compete with all the money Hasbro is going to invest in toys. Licensing. Hasbro is going to be investing a lot of money in licensing new toys and other things that they can make money off of, or increasing their investments in their big spenders. And what is their biggest spender still as of this time is the same it was last year? It's Peppa. So the things they are focusing on last year were, for the last chunk, Magic, Dungeons & Dragons, Nerf, Peppa, Play-Doh, video games, and Transformers. The things that they weren't really investing in as much were arts and crafts, outdoor stuff, preschool toys, So there we go. Now I said a lot of numbers. There's a lot of sarcasm in there. Let's break this down to words you and I understand. And of course, I'm going to use food. Okay? Hasbro has been given a pizza. Hasbro has only so many pieces of pizza to divide amongst all the Hasbro friends and family. Hasbro is looking at each friend and family and seeing how much money they made them during the year. And that amount of money is going to equal how much pizza they get for the next year. And it looks like Wizards of the Coast, you're getting the smallest amount of pizza because compared to Peppa, you did not make anywhere close to what you made last year. And more importantly, you did not make what we asked you to make. You did not make what you told us you were going to make. In fact, you have done everything you can since this point last year to piss off pretty much an entire industry. When Bank of America and the Wall Street Journal start posting articles about Wizards of the Coast and how it has lost the trust of its fans and how it is costing Hasbro millions of dollars, you gotta know things are not looking good for Wizards of the Coast. When 60 people in a 30-person department are about to lose their jobs, you gotta know things are not looking for Wizards of the Coast. If you're looking at the amount of pieces of pizza you got last year compared to this year is ridiculously low. I mean, just not count. I mean, we already know Q3 you cost them $6 million, but now we're looking at another 40 to 70 million. When you were supposed to make them 1 billion at least, if not more. Projected this time last year, Hasbro wanted Wizards of the Coast to make $1 billion and change. Now, today, nope. All the numbers have struck. But OGGM, I just looked on Ameritrade and the stock has gone up almost $2. What's that? Why is that so exciting? That seems to be good. Stock up is good, right? No, not in this case. This means people are starting to short sell the stock to get as much as they can before the next warning from Bank of America, which should be up tomorrow or Monday, based upon the results of this. By Monday, these numbers are going to start to trickle down to the rest of the world, and people are going to go, you know what? I don't know if I want my stock in Hasbro right now. I don't know if I want to invest in Wizards of the Coast right now. Now let's wait to see what kind of money this movie makes. Because right now, all bets for Wizards of the Coast are on the movie and how well they can merchandise the movie. If the movie does what they want it to do, 500 million to $1 billion, then Hasbro can say, okay, Q1, we're okay. But if the movie doesn't do what they want it to make, bare minimum 500 million, then we will see the stock drop again. Because right now, everything that is Wizards of the Coast has going for it is lying on that movie and lying on trying to get any goodwill they lost back through what's up, the 5 products that are coming out. Now let's look at the 5 product sales. Tales of the Dragon Queen 3.75. Results, it was a hard read. Nothing really necessary. We're paying extra money for artwork. Sales, non-existent. Dragonlance, it was a hard read. Didn't really give us what we wanted. It's not really Dragon's Lance. I don't really get it. I wouldn't recommend it for a starting DM. Sales, pretty much non-existent. Keys to the Golden Vault. Well, the physical product isn't out yet. That will be to next week, so I'm not sure how these people are claiming they have the physical product. Sales online? Not great. Physical sales? Well, if you go over what we learned earlier this week in Hasbro's plans for physical sales, mom and pop friendly local game stores, you're not going to get a copy. So if anybody comes says, I just picked up a copy of Tales from the Golden Vault from my local game store, they're probably lying, because most 90% of the physical copies are going to big box, and the rest are being sold online through Amazon and D&D Direct. So Cess Games and Anime, if it was still in existence, probably would not get a copy of Keys to the Golden Vault. Or if they did, they'd get one. So yeah, Hasbro counting on specialty and mass sales, e-commerce sales for the physical product. Wizards of the Coast, you're now in the same box as toys. And you still are expected to make $1 billion plus by this time next year. So for all those people who thought Wizards of the Coast would be fine, D&D is fine, Hasbro is fine, everything is fine, it's going to make trillions of dollars, the ORC and the OGL don't matter, we don't make money, we're not worth anything, everybody still loves D&D. Money doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. You can insult me and call me names and say I'm wrong and I'm biased and whatever all you want, but the numbers are there. Here's the link down below. You do not have to believe me if you do not want to, but this is coming from the horse's mouth. And if the Wall Street Journal, Bank of America, and CNN of all people, 3 individual organizations who up till now really have very little to do with us. I mean, what the fuck does the Wall Street Journal care about Dungeons and Dragons? Are all saying bail out now. Things are not look good. Wizards of the Coast has gone out of its way to lose the trust of the entire gaming industry and all its player base. And now it has to crawl back with this huge responsibility on its back to try and regain the trust of the gaming community. And how does it do it? It has Kyle Brink going out there telling white people don't belong in the hobby anymore. We will continue following this story because it's important. We need to see how the rest of the industry reacts to this. Right now, we know Wizards of the Coast sales non-existence. On the other hand, Pathfinder, Chaos, Call of Cthulhu, Level Up 5e, GURPS, Green Ronin, Troll Lord Games, sales through the roof. Paizo has sold almost a year worth of product in over 4 weeks. Their warehouses are empty. Chaosium, Call of Cthulhu, warehouses empty. Sales skyrocketing around the world. D&D, warehouses full. So Monday, we will start to see how this affects the rest of the industry. So obviously, it's something we're going to be talking about a lot more. I would have loved to shown you the slides and everything, but for some reason, I can't use StreamYard again till tomorrow because, I don't know, magic. Aliens. Skynet doesn't want me to. Am I taking a little bit more glee out of this than perhaps I should? Should I be upset? Should I be sad? Should I be concerned? No, absolutely not. I should not be sad. I should not be upset. Sure, my 10 shares are not worth what they were 2-3 years ago, but I knew that. I knew they were going to have a bad year this year. There was absolutely no way they could make the same money. But this much of a loss, that comes unexpected. And after all the shit I've gotten from people over the past year or so about how I'm wrong about Hasbro, how I'm wrong about Wizards of the Coast, how I'm wrong about D&D, and I'm just like, wait to Q4, wait to Q4, wait to Q4. You don't have to believe me. Let's just wait to Q4. You can call me whatever names you want. You can threaten me whatever you want. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm just going to wait to Q4. Here's Q4. So, of course, I have a smug little smile on my evil little face going, I told you. I am the OGGM. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you don't appreciate this nonsense, let me know. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. And please, if you appreciate this, my unusual slant on the D&D news, consider supporting the OGGM. And there are several ways you can do that, but the number one way you can support the OGGM adventures is heading on over to Big Geek Emporium, link down below, and buying my merch. And I am right now almost finished with writing the largest and most scientifically accurate of all my little monster zines that I've been doing this year. So this one should be exciting. And then there's one I want to rewrite. I wasn't very happy with the bad guy one, so I'm going to rewrite that one again, depending upon whatever. So that's it. Till next time, enjoy the show. Oh boy, Wizards of the Coast. Oh boy, Hasbro. Wow.